Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories just in time for July 4th, and it's time to get out of the water and a Jaws rewatch. How about a shark that bit a camera? Carlos goes by the name the Malibu Artist on YouTube. He spends a lot of time on his kayak off the coast of SoCal filming sharks. He's been doing it long enough that he knows their behavior pretty well, so when a great white approached one of his cameras in late April and bit it, he was surprised. He had multiple cameras in the water and a friend operating a drone. The problem was, at that moment, he lost communication with the drone guy, and he had no idea where the shark was. He said, not knowing where the shark is, I look back at the shadow of the shark's right there. By the time I got comms with him, all I can hear is my buddy yelling, "He got the camera! He got the camera!" The great white had chomped down directly on one of the underwater cameras. The footage captured from inside the shark's mouth is remarkable. Carlos told local TV, "I've been around them a lot. They normally don't come at you like that." The shark did not swim away with the camera, but it did crack the protective dome around the equipment. You'll find the video on his YouTube channel. Again, he goes by the Malibu Artist. In Denver, restaurateurs are saving money while cutting down on waste. I like this a lot. It is called the Food Matters Restaurant Challenge, run by the Denver Department of Public Health and Environment. Here's the concept. Restaurants sign up for a 12-week program. They have to come up with an innovation to reduce their food waste, and they get paired with environmental consultants and food lab experts. The guys at Blue Sparrow Cafe, a small chain of coffee shops around Denver, are known for their chai lattes. Their chai lattes are made fresh daily from ground spices. For the challenge, they figured out that if they steep the spices twice, then again as a half batch, they can get significantly more chai out of the same amount of spices. It has about 20 minutes of the process. However, it saves each cafe $2,500 a year, 14 pounds of spices, and 5 pounds of tea leaves. The folks over at the Olivia restaurant started using whole eggs instead of separating them and discarding the whites. Pit Friend Barbecue stopped coring their cucumbers. That'll save them $1,600 a year in cucumber costs alone. Good news for leopard cubs in India. Nikki Sharp is the executive director of Wildlife SOS USA. She explains leopards are found throughout India. India is the most populated country in the world, so their natural habitat is shrinking. When they live in these environments, their normal prey base is usually not available. That leads them to find other food sources that include domestic livestock like goats, which leads to conflicts with people. That'll make sense to me. Now, sometimes farmers will find cubs in the fields and move the cubs. They have good intentions, not realizing that the mother is likely nearby and will return for her young. So Wildlife SOS has been working on this. Their approach is when separated cubs are found, experts examine them for health issues, then place them in what they call a safe box, set back in the location where the cubs were originally found. The team then monitors from a distance and stays out of the way. The mother hears the cubs' cries and collects them. Sharp said, "We've been doing these cub reunifications successfully for over 15 years. Cubs learn from their mother for up to 2 years, and without this education, they won't survive on their own. Over 95% of the attempts have been successful." Do you have an electric car? Do you have to charge it? If you have a fast charger, maybe 20 to 30 minutes. Well, a Chinese company called Neo thinks they have a better answer. What if you swapped the battery? So some folks at NPR drove one of their SUVs. The NPR host spoke to the car's AI assistant and asked it to initiate a battery swap. The car took over entirely. The car said, "Hey, take your foot off the brake, take your hands off the wheel, don't open the doors." Then the car backed itself into the port. The car lifted slightly. A machine rose up from behind it. They swapped out the entire battery pack, which weighs around 1,100 pounds, and whisked it away to a changing room for a future driver. A fresh, fully charged battery was lifted into place, bolted in, diagnostics were run, green light came on. Total time, 3 minutes, 8 seconds. There are now nearly 4,000 battery swap stations around the world, most of them in China. An 11-year-old anteater named Blackie escaped from the Taipei Zoo in Taiwan and spent the next week doing whatever it wanted. Zoo staff noticed she was gone and began searching the surrounding area. For 7 days, nothing. Then a zoo employee spotted Blackie the Anteater crossing a service road that circles the zoo in an area not open to the public. Blackie made her way to the solar energy clock in front of the zoo's tropical rainforest area. Zookeepers were called in. Blackie put up a fight, and Blackie is now safely back in her enclosure. One employee was scratched. As far as I know, no ants were harmed in this story. And those are your 5 good news stories for today. You have an awesome day.